Yo, everybody, it's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week. Oh, yeah, for drroto.com. That's how we do it. If you haven't checked out all of our tools or any of the content yet, head over to drroto.com. Promo code DOC. Get you 10% off of your subscription. That's how you always make sure that the points are with you. Oh, yeah. Let's get to it. I'm doing my Ultra Contrarian show today as a podcast so that we can get a little bit more people understanding that our Discord is lit. Discord is on fire. You have me, you have Chris in there. You got Danger, Doc pops in, everybody's in there. Kickman, just come hang out. We talk a lot of DFS, we talk a lot of seasonal, we have all the different channels, and that's the bonus you get for being part of our community and our Discord. Dig it? Yeah. So let's get right to it. I'm not going to mention anybody that's like high priced. I mean, maybe if I think they're going to be low owned, because that's what you want to be. You got to think to be contrarian and to be ultra contrarian shows that you gotta have big cojones. You gotta make sure that you kind of do your thing your way, right? Because that's what you want in the end. That's what I'm here for as well, is to teach you lineup construction and give you plays that will help you open up the rest of your lineup so that you can not only cash, but you have a chance in a GPP. Dig it? Let's get to it. All right. So I'm not going to lie. Josh Allen's my number one guy this week. I love him. But that Kansas City Philly game got me really intrigued. So it's not like I ain't going to think about Jalen Hurts. But at 6,900, a lot of people are going to be jumping to him because they know what's going to happen. Don't forget about Aaron Rodgers at 6,800. While everybody's doing their thing, Pittsburgh has looked bad. This is in Green Bay, and I'm practically giving up on Pittsburgh at this point. I don't really care. Eventually, they will hit, and they will win me a lot of money and win you a lot of money. But for right now, we're not going to play that game. Who I actually like, and some people do play, is Kirk Cousins. At 6,400, that price tag is beautiful on DraftKings. And the fact that you get him at that, you could definitely pair him with Thielen. It doesn't matter if Cook or Madison are in that running back role. Both of them will flourish about the same, except Cook is better. Of course, we know these things, people. Oh, yeah. And I think that it's going to be a big scoring game. I mean, Cleveland can't just lose a game, right? And at the same time, Minnesota's kind of rolling on the offensive side of things. The ball's going to a lot of different places. Kirk Cousins is playing well, and whether they get Cook or back for this game or not, it doesn't matter. But Cleveland is in that these two teams are almost kind of similar in a way. They're not really the team anybody's really thinking of or looking at, but they're good enough to be up there. So that being said, let's head over to the Fanduel because I want to make sure that you get those prices as well. So, when we get down all the way down to Cousins, he's 75. That's not bad. So cheap quarterbacks, no, I'm not thinking about playing Roethlisberger in Green Bay. Might do it. But I still don't like Matt Ryan. If that Washington front line wakes up, he's going to have a bad game. And they should have flourished last game, and they couldn't do anything. So I'm just done with Atlanta. Maybe you like them, play some Calvin Ridley. Maybe they explode this week. That's fine. But I can find my prices and players in other places that are produced. Because even if they do good, is it really going to be great? That's just the thing. Goff, now it was just mentioned that Fields is starting again, which makes me I've been eyeballing this game because Goff is going to definitely run it back this week. He had a bad week last week, just statistically. It was just after those first 2 weeks of just, playing catch up and being in it. Just that game with the Ravens just was blah. And a lot of people thought that game would be bigger. I mean, it should have been. I don't understand what happened, but we got what we got, and we got a record field goal. So that being said, Jared Goff is going to be a lot of guys, nobody's going to be looking at him, except that maybe you want to pair. They're going to be looking at DeAndre Swift now so you pair him with the defense for Detroit. And unless Fields has got his stuff together by now, I really don't know what to think. If he plays like that again, it's over with. Detroit's going to get a win, and Goff's going to be there. So that's my guy at 5,200 again. But if you don't want to roll the whole Jared Goff thing, my best suggestion is look at Teddy Bridgewater. That's a hard game. But the cheapest I'm going this week, other than Goff, is Sam Darnold. I like his price and Baker Mayfield too. But Sam Darnold, people are catching on. A lot of people are going to be levitating to DJ Chark, so he's not going to be as sneaky as Goff this week. So check that out. All right, let's get over to the running backs. Henry, everybody's going to have Henry on their team. I'm not going to talk about him. We're not going to talk about Kamara. We're not going to talk about all the targets Najee Harris had. And I'm not going to deal with any of these running backs. I am intrigued with Miles Sanders, but I'm also intrigued not to play him either because I'm just sick of it. I don't care if he does 150 yards and a touchdown. It doesn't make up for the fact that you don't get used and you have – it's almost like he's got the Kenyon Drake problem, except he doesn't have Peyton Barber to steal his touchdowns and touches and make him look like what he is really just a second-string change-up running back, and they'll put Peyton Barber in front of you. That's so sad still to this day. Isn't that bad? I mean, come on, people. What's up? Why does Peyton Barber have to show up? Okay, we already had an episode of that. So back to it. I like Chris Carson again, but it seems like when he gets to like 14, 13 carries, 70, 80, 90 yards, they shut him down. He might get a touchdown. Most of the time he does. And then Seattle that's why, in my opinion, Seattle was in that game when they were running Chris Carson. And the minute they changed that up and stopped giving him the ball, that game went afoot. And then look what happened. Russell Wilson can't win you every game. Stop trying to think he can. Sometimes you have to stick to the run game, bro. So, when you're moving down, a lot of people will be looking at Chubbard for 5,900. I like David Montgomery can still have a good game against Detroit. But now that Fields is in there, people are going to be thinking that whole backfield's going to be a mess. They're going to stay away from it. And there's your ultra contrarian play of the week for me. And after that, I mean, Zach Moss looks intriguing. I'm not going to play any other games. We already know that Darrell Henderson's back, so there's going to be no Sony Michel love fest. So, and whatever happens with James Conner at 5,100, I don't care. I'm not interested really in anybody that low. Trey Sermon, no, not doing it. Not playing with them, San Francisco. We already know that Eli is going to be back in some capacity, and that's not intriguing to me. So why go down there? You could stay right around. I mean, you can look at Jamal Williams depending on what's going on with DeAndre Swift, but it looks like he might play. So we're going to leave it at that, and that's what my lower owned guy is going to be right there. Hey, you don't have to play him, but if you end up in that range and you're looking for a flex and you see Montgomery pop up, give him a shout out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Let's go up to the wide receivers. Tyreek is the most expensive, not even playing it. Devontae Adams is going to explode this week. He's going to explode. I see that questionable tag on Aaron Jones, and I know what the Packers are going to do. This might be a 2-touchdown, 3-touchdown week for Devontae Adams. That's a little much. He's definitely going to score. They just got to get Pittsburgh is still pretty strong up front. You can beat them through the air. That's what Aaron Rodgers is going to do, and that's the way it's going to go. I'm always going to love Cooper Kupp and DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to have, Ramsey a lot. So it doesn't matter if the Rams kind of switch off and on. Ramsey's going to be around the vicinity, and that's how it's going to roll. So when you're going down, you could look at the Seattle receivers. Lockett's got that questionable. Ridley still at 7,000. So tempting. So I will have a Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley lineup, but I ain't playing no Mike Davis. I don't play that game. I really love DJ Moore, and everybody's going to him, but that 6,600 price tag on DraftKings is almost you just got to pay up for that. I'm cool with that. My guy, again, I'm running it back, Odell Beckham Jr. He looked good last week. Now they're going to be playing in a game, in a faster-paced game, and they're going to need a fast-paced kind of guy. Mark my words, Odell's going to go off this week. That's going to be your guy right there. When everybody's got these shiny toys, get Odell Beckham Jr. in your lineup this week. He did well for me last week. He's going to do better this week. Oh, yeah. After that, Robert Woods at 5,300. Eventually, he is going to explode. 5,300, that's worth it to me. So if you wrote Odell and you get Robert Woods and you put DJ Moore up in there, boom. You could pay up for tight end if you want Kelsey, or you can go big at running back and flex. It's your choice, but we'll get to that at the end. So for my receivers, if you really want to go down low, they keep talking about they were running some extra plays and they need to get Robbie Anderson more involved this week. His price tag at 5,100 on DraftKings is great. And you know that this Dallas game is going to be a fast-paced game. I mean, they're going to run it with Zeke for sure, but this is going to be finally the week that Robbie Anderson people can look up to. And while people are going after DJ Moore, a lot of people will slay towards Robbie. So beware of that, but play at your own risk. Sounds like a fun risk to me, though. After that, I'm not really going to go down to the 4,000s too much. I'm looking at them. You can go. I'm not really interested in Zacchaeus, whatever. Terrence Marshall Jr. Now, that could be the same thing, too. We'll go look at it. 5 targets, 4 catches, 48 yards. That's decent. That's a good play. And if you really want to go cheap and you don't care and you want that, and say he catches a longer ball and goes over 100 and gets that multiplier, you hit money. And right now, Sam Darnold's going to be throwing that ball without McCaffrey back there, and that's good for everybody. And that's the pretty much. I mean, I'm not going anywhere else after that. Let's go down to tight end. Boosh. We all know Kelsey is going to be heavily involved this week, so he should be highly owned. And if he's not, I don't know what's wrong. I'm not really too into TJ Hawkinson this week. I was into him the last few weeks, and I see it kind of dipping down, but I want to see how the Chicago game goes. It seems like the running backs are still way more involved than really anybody else on the offense. So with Swift and Williams getting so much, that's really limits. That makes me feel that the rest of Detroit is limited. Therefore, the other guy that I would go is TJ Hawkinson. But for me, I'm going to step out of that. This is supposed to be ultra contrarian. So we'll tell you right now, Logan Thomas, he's been putting up great weeks. He's been scoring here and there, but he's going to have a big, big week. This Washington-Atlanta game should be good. And I love the Washington side of things. This is a get-right game for them. Gibson's looks great for me. McLaurin looks great for me. I love Logan Thomas. And a lot of people won't be looking at Logan Thomas. Dallas Goedert's $100 less. They're going to see Goddard or they're going to see Pitts at 5,000, and they're not going to look at Logan Thomas because everybody's going to be thinking of everybody else but him. So other than that, I would go Noah Fant is about where you go. I'm not going to enroll in the Dawson Knox Law School yet. So 36 is too much for me. Yes, he is scoring. He's getting play, but at any time, those targets could go right to Diggs, and that makes him irrelevant. And at that price tag, I don't really like it at all. The cheapest tight end I would probably go for right now is probably Fat Freiermuth for the Steelers. I like that he's finally getting a lot more. He got that touchdown. He got 3 targets, caught 3 balls for 22 yards, and he got a touchdown. That was 11.2, and he was $3,000 was his salary at that point. He's 3,100. I'll take 10, 11 points for 3,100. So lock that as your ultra contrarian. A lot of people pretty much think the Steelers are going to get blown out, and if they do, they're going to be dumping the ball off to Najee Harris and Pat a lot. Check that out. All right, let's get down. Boom, defense. Right? We got this. We got this defense right here. That's what's up. So everybody's going to be looking at the Bills and the Titans. And we did the Titans experiment. See how you can go from 2,400 up to 39? We don't play those games, man. We don't play those games. I still like my Rams defense. But the Washington football team at 35 is intriguing. But you know what I like? I like 32 to 28. When I get to the 32s, you can see the Dolphins, the 49ers, the Steelers, the Browns, the Giants, Cardinals, and the Colts. So those teams I don't normally like to roster defensively. So I'm going to go down to the Lions at 2,200. And a lot of people are probably going to jump on because now that Fields is starting. But I'm doing it. I'm doing the Lions. 2,200 is fine for me. I'll pay that money up. That works for me. My defense that I'm probably going to, I'm going to have some Rams defense. I believe the Rams can stop Arizona. And Arizona just been playing these little punk teams. The Rams can play. We can play. And I'm waiting for that big Aaron Donald game. And it's just waiting and waiting. And one of these weeks, that's going to be a game. That's going to be a big game. Donald's going to explode. Rams defense. But for that right now, I'm going to be mixing in a little bit of that 2,200 and don't down on the Saints. Saints defense, 3,800 is nice too. But the Bears at 3,700, I get it. But I'm going to have to keep up with those guys. So there you go. Those are my ultra contrarian plays of the week for week 4 NFL action. All the prices I gave out were the DraftKings, except at the beginning with the quarterbacks. I did throw up a Fanduel price tag. It's easy to find those. Just highlight the players. You can find any of my contact and any of my colleagues, especially Dr. Roto's visionary plays and everything, all on our website at drroto.com. Check it out. Get over there. And like I said, we can't wait to see you part of the community, because once you're there, you're going to understand why the points are with us. Ooh, yeah.